Hello, my friends. I am very happy to announce to you that we're starting a new unit. And this writing unit is going to be one that you will probably be asked to do a lot in your life. So I think it's very useful and it's the very beginning stages of that. So I think you're going to find it also very manageable. What I'm going to ask you to do today is listen to a story that I have not read to you yet. You might know the story, but most of you probably don't. And while I am reading the story out loud to you, you're going to have your notebook in front of you. So you need to go and get that notebook right now and have it in front of you. Now, if you didn't bring your notebook home the other day and now we're on full remote for a week, that means you're going to have 5 days of writing on pieces of paper. And I'm going to expect that you're going to get all of that writing that you do this week back into your notebook when you get your access to it again. All right. So that might mean for some of you who were in school and are not now in school, you're going to have to take that stuff and tape it into your notebook. All right. Because I want all of the writing that we do in one place, not like in pieces of paper and all over, under your bed and everywhere else. If you're anything like me, that might be what happens to you. All right. So while I'm reading the story, Each Kindness to you today, I want you to think, what might a certain character be like? How might a certain character change? And what might be the lesson that this author is trying to teach us. All right. So you're going to be listening with a pencil, thinking with a pencil, thinking visibly. That means the thinking that you're doing in your head is going to be visible on a piece of paper. And while this is happening, I would like for you to think about what certain characters might be like, how a character changes. And this is your opinion. Because in this particular type of writing that we're going to be doing, it's called a literary essay. You're going to write your opinion about a piece of writing, and then you're going to prove it with details from the story that help you prove your point. All right. So it might be that I'll say India Opal in Because of Winn-Dixie is a caring person. And so one way I know that India Opal is a caring person is that she makes friends with a librarian. She accepts the invite to the little 5-year-old's birthday party, and she rescues a dog. These are ways that I see India Opal as a caring person. And I'm proving that with details. All right. I want you to do the same thing today. So when I'm reading the story to you, Each Kindness, you're going to be thinking about what a certain character might be like. Oh, I think this character is like this. How a certain character changes. Oh, well, in the beginning, the character was like this, but in the end, I think the character, blah, blah, blah. And, or what lesson you think is supposed to be learned. The story teaches us, blah, blah, blah. All right. That one's a little bit harder, but you know what? Go for it. Remember when I said nothing grows in the comfort zone? So maybe take a risk. I don't know. All right. Each Kindness. This story is by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by E.B. Lewis. If you've ever read the story The Other Side, you'll see this has the same sort of feeling to it. All right. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her. And she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had been broken. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled. But I didn't smile back. I actually moved my chair myself and my books a little farther away from her. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. Remember, you should be jotting while I'm reading this story to you. What is your opinion about certain characters? What do you think maybe we're supposed to learn? Okay. Maybe thinking about how this character is right now, maybe if the character changes, you'll be able to think about that. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us the shiny jacks and tiny red balls she had gotten for her birthday. It's a high bouncer, she said, but none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, Bet you can't guess who the new Jacks champion of the world is. Behind me, Andrew whispered, Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new friend. She's not my friend, I whispered back. The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school, a deck of cards, pickup sticks, a small tattered doll. And whenever she asked us to play, we said no. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass began growing where snow had once been. And one day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes. But the shoes and the dress looked like they'd belonged to another girl before Maya. I have a new name for her, Kendra whispered. Never knew. Everything she has came from a secondhand store. We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to ask us if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole school without stopping. She didn't look up once, just jumped, jumped, jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Miss Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into it, and tiny waves rippled out away from the stone. This is what kindness does, Miss Albert said. Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world. Then Miss Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother, and Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said, and Miss Albert said it was true. I stood there, holding Miss Albert's rock in my hand, silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything and passed the stone on. Maya didn't come to school the next day or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned and she'd look at me and smile, and I promised myself this would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness, Miss Albert had said, makes the whole world a little bit better. But Maya's seat remained empty. And one day, Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Miss Albert said. And then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya, each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. like each kindness done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more forever gone. Hmm. Okay. So think about a character, what your opinion is. Think about what the lessons are that we're supposed to be learning. What the story is teaching us. What your opinion of that is, and also maybe how this character changed from the beginning to the end. One of the characters, and then support it with something that you think happened in the story. Okay. And that's all I'm asking you to do today in your notebook or on a piece of paper that's going to end up in your notebook. And then next week, or I'm sorry, the next time you guys come into school or the next time we meet on Zoom, we will do the similar things with books that you've already read, or stories rather that you've already read. Okay. Have a good day.